What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com. It is Monday Night Football Week 1. We got the Bills and the Jets. It's going to be an awesome game. Before we get started, as we talk about each and every week, if you're just joining us, hopefully you are going to stick around for the entire NFL season. Welcome to everything that we do here that is absolutely free. So please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and then let us know in the comment section what you'd like to see from us throughout the rest of the season, and we will do our best to accommodate. So we are sitting here. It is the Jets and the Bills. This is thelines.com. You hit that NFL tab, and you will see. You can pull up Monday Night Football preview. Whenever you do that, you can come down here, take a look, and I like to do the blended so I can see both at the same time. And we are looking at two pretty much across the board. There's 1.5 right there at over at BetMGM. 45.5, though, is the prevailing total across the board. So what are we getting in this thing? As we know, I don't know if you heard or not, they got a new quarterback for the Jets. No one's talked about it or anything, but Aaron Rodgers obviously going to be making his first start for the Jets on Monday Night Football against the Bills. Now, I believe that this Jets team is going to be good later on in the season. I think we're going to be talking about this Jets team in week 7, 8, 9. Completely different than us talking about this Jets team in weeks 1, 2, 3. We know that we have Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, no matter what. We have a stud there. Garrett Wilson looks like he is every bit the stud wide receiver that we thought he was going to be coming out of college. So we're got those two boxes checked. Running back position, they signed Dalvin Cook. They've got Breece Hall. That sounds great and all, except for the fact that Dalvin Cook didn't get signed until late August and Breece Hall didn't get cleared until late August. So neither one of these guys had any sort of training camp whatsoever. Then you look at the other wide receiver positions, and it's like Randall Cobb, who's old and crusty, and then you have Alan Lazard, who's a fine wide receiver 3. Mecole Hardman, who's a fine wide receiver 4. But there's not a lot to love outside of Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson today in week 1. Now, Dalvin Cook, still young. He's not one of the old running backs that's getting rehashed or whatever. I think he's going to be fine. Breece Hall obviously is awesome. He's just still coming back off of a major injury. He's going to be good the longer that he has time to recover and get back in the swing of things. They kept 2 undrafted rookie wide receivers who look like they've got a pretty decent amount of talent. They will probably work their way into this offense so long as Aaron Rodgers likes them. But again, that's going to take some time. And what we saw in not only on Hard Knocks, I know that Hard Knocks is an end-all be-all, if you watched it in the preseason as well, is this offensive line is the major issue here. Now, could they figure this out? Look, Mekhi Becton's coming back also. So there's a lot to where if you're a Jets fan, you can be pretty excited about what this team looks like a few weeks down the road. But I think in week 1, probably not the best version of this team. I'll go ahead and scroll down here just a little bit further. You can kind of see this cool tool that we have, this prop tool, which is pretty awesome. You can see the passing totals here for Josh Allen. On the Bills side of things, and when we look at the Bills side of things, let's be honest, it's a proven commodity, right? We get a team in which not a ton of turnover. Coaching staff's there. We got the quarterback there. We got the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. All that still intact. Defense pretty much still intact. And then you do have the addition of Dalton Kincaid. More on him later. As an early draft pick for you. You have moved on at the running back position. James Cook is going to be the guy that's going to get the bulk of the carries. So we think. Maybe Damian Harris. That's also another one of these things where we start talking about prop bets in this one that gets pretty confusing. But it's a pretty good defense for this Bills team. Pretty good offensive line. Like, there's just a lot whenever you look at the Bills. And I think a lot of this has to do with they've gotten to the postseason the last couple of seasons and kind of fizzled out. And maybe the sentiment around this team is a little bit tainted from what it really should be. This is a really good team with one of the really good quarterbacks in the NFL. Josh Allen didn't just forget it. Steph Diggs is still elite. Can Gabe Davis step up? I would have liked to see them address the wide receiver 2 position a little bit better. But listen, There are a lot of people out there. I'm not a talent evaluator. There's a lot of people out there that are, who say Gabe Davis has everything in the world to be a great wide receiver too in this league. We hadn't seen it really yet on a consistent basis, but this is going to be a prove it year for him for sure. If not, maybe the Bills go kicking the tires on some of these receivers that we assume are going to be available come the trade deadline. But I have to lean towards the proven commodity, the known. The known for me is I know what I'm getting with this Bills team. I'm getting great quarterback play. I'm getting an awesome wide receiver one. I'm getting good defense. I'm getting a great coaching staff. Saw enough of James Cook last year to trust that he's going to be competent at the running back position. But hell, Josh Allen is, basically running back one for this team. And on the Jets side of things, there's just too many question marks for me. Mainly that offensive line. And who else outside of Garrett Wilson is going to end up being the true playmaker there for Aaron Rodgers? I know he's got his buddy in Cobb and Lazard there, but that doesn't mean that instantly, just because Aaron Rodgers ends up taking snaps in week one, that everything is going to run perfectly. It's a short number on the Bills. It's not in the account quite yet. I do want to see if money comes in on the Jets just from everybody who decides to bet this a little bit later. One, New York's a very big state. I'm sure you guys know. Can be pretty influential and stuff with a bunch of people coming in with some money on the Jets. I understand that the Bills are located in New York too, but you get where I'm going with this. And then also plus everybody just, Hard Knocks effect is real. It has been at least in years past. And so everybody loves the Hard Knocks guys. I'll roll down here to this if you want to continue to look on. My play that's in the account is I did put under 46 in the account. It's sitting 45.5 right now. I would still play the under 45.5. That said, we are probably going to, I don't know what is this? We have some computers trying to sabotage the video here. So there, we'll get that out of there. So what we do have here from the total side of things is a game in which we know Aaron Rodgers, this does not have anything to do with Nathaniel Hackett, but we at least do have track record Nathaniel Hackett. And of course he's with Nathaniel Hackett now in New York, which is, if you go back to their days together with the Packers, there was a year in which they were 32nd, dead last, in situation neutral pace. There was a year in which they were 30th, third to last, in situation neutral pace. Nathaniel Hackett leaves last year. The Packers 28th in situation neutral pace. You get the thing. You get the pattern here, right? It's not necessarily who's even the offensive coordinator. It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers likes to play slow and deliberate. He's a very cerebral quarterback. He has so much control over the offense. He likes to get to the line, look around, assess the defense, do it, tell people what he needs to tell them, call some audibles if need be. He just plays slow and deliberate. He doesn't like to rush through things. He likes to take assessment, and that's how he likes to play the quarterback position. That's going to continue here with the Jets. There's no reason in the world to think that is not going to continue here with the Jets. So you have a team that's going to play slow as it is anyway. Then you look on the other side of the ball, and they have one of the best defenses in all the NFL, which I think, despite the fact that the Bills are good and the Bills are going to score a lot of points on a lot of teams, I don't think they're going to score a ton of points on the Jets. Sauce Gardner is going to be able to I'm not going to say shut down Steph Diggs. Steph Diggs is a true wide receiver one, but he's going to be able to slow down at least Steph Diggs. And then you look at what you have past that. Like I said, yeah, Gabe Davis is fine. We've yet to see it on a consistent basis. Maybe this is his breakout game. I'm not counting on it. And then from a Bills side of things, the Bills have a really good defense. And I already explained to you why I think that maybe the offense takes a few weeks to get going for the Jets. So the Bills defense, the Jets defense, combine that with the Jets maybe playing a little bit slower, taking a little bit of time to figure things out. I still think, even though this thing has crashed down, it was 47.5. It's come down to 45.5. I still would be looking at under 45.5. That said, can't say for certain that we're going to get the Monday Night Football bump that we always get. Everyone likes to bet an over. Everyone's going to be watching this game. Nobody likes to root for fewer points. So maybe this thing climbs back to 46. Super long shot that it moves all the way to 46.5, but certainly something to monitor as we get closer to game time. How this looks to be trending. But again, I like the underlook here. Two good defenses, elite defense on the Jets side for sure. Slow pace of play for the Jets. Don't know if things are just going to rock and roll right out of the gate for them. Really like the underlook here. So for me, come back up here to this prop finder, which by the way, I'll just go ahead and show you where you can find this at any time so that you can take advantage of it. You go to the homepage here, right there, player prop tool. It's really awesome. You can just type in anybody and you can see what's going on. We saw the Josh Allen thing. Look, I'll show you the Aaron Rodgers stuff just so you can see. It's not in the account for me, but what I will say is I have a pretty decent lean towards the under on Aaron Rodgers passing yards. And what I can tell you is about a half an hour ago when I was prepping for everybody was at 234.5. So everyone has started to bet the under actually on this as it is anyway. Probably for a lot of the things that I just said about the slow, deliberate pace, where are the plays going to go outside of Wilson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The only play I would make on Rodgers would be under in this thing. But the one that I actually really do like and have in the account is Dalton Kincaid. And it's not from a receiving yard standpoint, but it's over 2.5 receptions. So I do like over 2.5 receptions on Dalton Kincaid. If you believe... We don't have any sample size here, right? Guys, we have to go with a lot of our priors here. We have to go with a lot of our convictions in week one, and we have to go with a lot of information in week one. And the information we were getting coming out of Bills camp from everybody that watched Bills camp all season long was Dalton Kincaid is going to be a major part of this offense. They drafted him not necessarily to even line up as a tight end. He's going to play a lot of slot. They said they might even line him up out wide. They're going to try to create mismatches and utilize Dalton Kincaid. And so if I believe that Sauce Gardner is going to be able to at least hold Steph Diggs at bay, like I don't think he's going to shut him down completely, but at least limit his production. And again, we have not seen Gabe Davis be a legitimate wide receiver 2 on a consistent basis here. Who knows? Maybe Dalton Kincaid is the guy that continues to get a bunch of looks in this game, lining him up all over the field, trying to create mismatches. So I don't know exactly what kind of production that leads to from a yardage standpoint. I don't know what his average depth of target. I don't know what his ADOT's going to be in this offense because, again, we haven't seen anything. We have no sample size with this. He's a rookie. But I'll take the over 2.5 catches on him, that he's at least going to be a decent part of this offense. And so give me the over 2.5 on Dalton Kincaid receptions in the game tonight. From a rushing standpoint, guys, from a rushing prop standpoint, there's just nothing I want to do with this. If you have a conviction, you probably will be able to think that you have an edge on all this. I mean, we could look. I mean, is it going to be Dalvin Cook that carries the mail the majority of the time? Is it going to be Breece Hall? You can see. I mean, it's sitting as low as 45.5 on Dalvin Cook if you believe in Dalvin Cook. If you want to look at Breece Hall, I mean, if you think, no, it's going to be Breece Hall, I don't care about the injury. If you have a conviction there, you can find him as low as 32.5. I just don't have a conviction. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know what the split's going to be. Is it going to be 50-50? Is it going to be 60-40? Is it going to be 70-30? No idea. No clue. So with that, there's just too many question marks. I'm going to take a pass on that. Same deal with the backfield with the Bills, right? I mean, yeah, you assume James Cook, but they do have Damian Harris. And then Josh Allen steals a handful of carries as it is every game too. So I don't want to go there with that. So I'm just gonna pass on all the rushing stuff. Just stick to the Kincaid receiving and then the under in the game. You might see me on the Bills when it's all said and done if money does continue to come in a little bit later on the Jets. So that's something that I'll be looking at as well. Guys, again, appreciate you watching this. Everything we do, absolutely free. Over here on the lines, if you want to see what I just did, NFL tab down there, Monday Night Football, or if you want to utilize a prop player tool, you can do that right there as well. Upper right-hand corner, as you see, that right there is the Discord. Everyone's over there talking every sport, 24/7, 365. So get in there, get involved with that. because great discussion. And by the way, that is also free as well. Good luck on all your Monday Night Football bets.